I know, it's the same thing every day. At night, right before bed, you tell yourself, tomorrow is the day. And guess what? It never is. Just another lazy day with the guilt and the sense of uselessness as your reward for wasting it. And the cycle repeats itself day after day, week after week. So today I'm going to show you the only way to truly end these self-sabotaging habits by going straight to the root of the problem. Hello my friend, welcome to Healthy Development Academy. If we could count the number of people who've never had to face laziness when trying to get something done, I bet you could count them on one hand. Honestly, I don't think we'd even need all 5 fingers. Laziness is part of being human. Over time, our bodies have developed various defense mechanisms to conserve as much energy as possible, because today's reality, for most of us, of simply going to the fridge for lunch ingredients wasn't always the norm. Here's something to think about. Our ancestors had to do heavy labor, farming for example, without machinery if they wanted to survive. These days we make excuses for not sitting in front of a computer, in a comfortable chair, in an air-conditioned office. This is just one of the problems our brain faces today. We live in a completely new world, but our brains are wired for prehistoric life. But there's the thing, there's no point in complaining about this reality, because nothing we do will change it. However, do you know what we have that no other animal with these flaws has? The ability to reason, reflect and evaluate what we're doing versus what we should be doing to achieve our goals. And that's exactly why I'm doing this project. I believe that knowledge is transformative, but every once in a while it's important to have someone willing to tell you a few hard truths, no matter how harsh they may be. And like other videos, today I'm not going to introduce you the latest productivity software, the new ancient technique to end procrastination, or the perfect morning routine that will turn you into an unstoppable productivity machine. Don't get me wrong, I support all contents that aims to solve these problems for people. And I support even more that practical methods that help people adopt this lifestyle for long periods of time. I've personally studied, without exaggeration, thousands of hours over the past few years on productivity, procrastination, lifestyle habits, task management, morning and night routines, work methods, time blocking techniques like Pomodoro, efficient work calendars and more. I've even used app blocking software. In fact, I'm using one right now to stay focused on this project. And you wouldn't believe how long it took me to find an app that actually works well enough to block nearly every method of bypassing it and returning to the world of procrastination. By the way, if you want me to make a video about it, let me know in the comments so I know if you're interested, because relying on willpower 24 hours a day is, as you probably know, very complicated. Many people spend countless hours studying personal development content. They have goals, like plans, a sense of purpose. They know what they need to do, and they work hard to achieve their goals. Even thought they experience lazy moments like a human being. They strive to improve day by day, overcoming challenge after challenge, aiming to become a better person through their actions. But based on my own experience, I'd say that this is not the reality for most people. They spend hours and hours watching videos looking for magic formulas to make them productive, but obviously those formulas don't exist. They live in what's called productive procrastination, which means they consume endless content on a specific topic without putting any of it into practice. Consequently, they become course and book junkies, resources that should be used to sharpen skills and competencies, but instead they only serve to feed the false sense of being productive, rather than getting down to the hard work that actually needs to be done, which usually involves discomfort. To make matters worse, when they realize they don't have the capacity to sacrifice the present for the future, they enter a cycle of mental self-sabotage, the lack that other people had in life, or more commonly, envying their success. Then they feel bad about not doing anything with their lives, and in that state of mind, instead of reversing situation, they tend to make even more harmful decisions, like using social media to relieve stress. They follow the success stories of multimillionaire actors without knowing their past, or they see bodybuilders with Hollywood-style physiques without having an idea of the sacrifices they made to get where they are today. None of us would refuse the chance to become a multimillionaire if given the opportunity, but if the requirement was working 14 hours a day every day for 15 years, I guarantee most people would think twice. I can tell you that yes, some people were lucky. That's a fact. But I guarantee you, with even more certainty, that most who got lucky wouldn't have achieved what they did without hard work. You only see the highlights people want to show or what you choose to focus on, not the moments of sadness and despair that came before. All of this to show you that no one is lazy all the time. Laziness is just an escape valve to avoid the hardest tasks, which are usually the most important. But the laziness quickly disappears when it comes time to play or watch a series. A popular term people use when putting things off is procrastination. And just like no one is inherently lazy, no one is inherently a procrastinator either. It only shows up during the most challenging moments of the day. Laziness, like procrastination, is nothing more than an excuse. If you think it's not, then consider this. Imagine I'm a multi-billionaire and I make you following offer. If you show up at my house tomorrow at 3 AM, I'll give you a suitcase with $1 million. What would you do? Whether you live next door or have to drive 5 hours, tired or not, I bet you'd find a way to be standing at my door 10 minutes before 3 AM, just waiting for the door to open. So, how often do you use this excuse? I have to break it to you. But the truth is, if you're honest with yourself, you're not responsible and reliable enough. And to fix that, 3 changes need to happen in your life. Take responsibility for your life. As cliché as it sounds, the responsibility for your own life is entirely yours. And here's the irony. When it comes to your own life, you treat it like it has no value. You spend time thinking about what you would be like to achieve your goals. And the first thing you do is grab the nearest distraction. Develop self-discipline. When we're kids, our parents do this for us. Either we listen or you know. But when we become adults, our parents step back. They're no longer there to watch us 24/7, and it becomes our responsibility to take control of our lives. Value yourself enough to live an abundant life. I don't know the details of your life or your ambitions, but the truth is, if you have a family, well, I'm not sure what stronger motivation you'd need than doing whatever it takes to provide the best for the people you love most. So, next time you catch yourself being lazy or procrastinating, think about the glorious moments you could have lived but didn't because you lacked courage, action, and determination. Now, answer this. When you're in your final days, do you want to feel fulfilled or live with the weight of regret? Choice is yours. As I said at the beginning, the pursuit of knowledge is crucial for anyone's personal development. I'm a completely different person today because of my pursuit of knowledge. It's no exaggeration to say it literally transformed my life, but I guarantee you that no amount of knowledge will change your life if the principles I mentioned earlier aren't solid. This was true for me and for many people I've guided through this process of personal growth. Most of the time, the issue wasn't a lack of knowledge, but an obvious mindset that's difficult to replicate. And if you're thinking this is simple and obvious, let me ask you, if it's so obvious, why aren't you doing it? Before thinking about applying more complex techniques and concepts to your life, make sure the basics are rock solid. So whenever you're about to waste your most precious asset, your time, please reflect on these words that changed my life, and I hope they will change yours too. Facing difficulties and headaches at work is good. It shows how unique your work is and how hard it is to replicate. The difference is in the work you're avoiding. The value you bring and the authenticity you create are proportional to the complexity of the task. If one can do it, the result will be just like anyone else's. But above all, remember, growth always requires sacrificing the present for the future. Don't let small rewards today prevent you from living a glorious life tomorrow.